Chosen one. If you are hearing this right now, understand this is not random and it is not accidental.
This place is so
Heaven has
beautiful.
aligned
It is my
this
Father's
exact
house.
moment
Peace I give
because
you.
what you
I
have
feel
been
it. Walk with
interpreting
me.
as punishment has never been judgment. It has been positioning. The silence, the pauses,
Peace
the
be with you.
detours, the
And with you,
feeling
Lord.
of being set
You are
apart
never
while
alone.
others seem
I
to
feel
move
it.
ahead, none of it was wasted. Anointed one. This was not delay. This was divine arrangement. Chosen one. God does not prepare wealth in public. He prepares vessels in private. What looked like isolation was insulation. What felt like loss was refinement. What felt like confusion was recalibration for a higher assignment. Scripture reminds us that the vision speaks at the appointed time and does not lie, and that time is now unfolding around you. Anointed one, you are not being stripped, you are being stabilized. You are not being rejected, you are being repositioned for a wealth phase that requires discernment, maturity, and spiritual authority. This next level cannot be entered casually. It must be inherited consciously. So breathe. Let your spirit settle. Stay with this word until the end, because what is being released is not motivation, it is transfer. And if this message is resonating quietly, align by subscribing and commenting 777, not for attention, but as a declaration. Chosen one, your positioning is complete. Chosen one. There is something you must understand before your mind tries to label this season incorrectly. What you have been walking through was never heaven turning its back on you. It was heaven stepping closer. I know it didn't feel that way when the doors slowed down, when people disappeared without explanation, when progress felt quiet instead of celebrated. But anointed one, heaven does not elevate loudly at first. It elevates deliberately. There were nights you questioned yourself, moments you replayed old decisions and wondered if you missed God, if you waited too long, if you moved too early, if you somehow disqualified yourself. And yet even in those moments, something inside you refused to quit. That wasn't willpower. That was positioning. That was God anchoring you while He rearranged the ground beneath your feet. Scripture teaches that the steps of the righteous are ordered even when the path looks unfamiliar. What you thought was wandering was actually precision you couldn't see yet. Chosen one, punishment drains you. Positioning strengthens you. And if you're honest, this season has stretched you, but it has also sharpened you. You see clearer now. You sense things before they happen. You don't move off impulse the way you used to. You don't trust appearances the way you once did. That is not damage. That is discernment. Heaven does not entrust wealth, influence, or authority to an untrained spirit. And what's coming next in your life requires weight-bearing capacity. Let me speak personally for a moment, anointed one. There was a season in my own life where everything looked stalled on the outside. Opportunities slowed, relationships shifted, the noise faded. I thought I was losing momentum, but in hindsight I realized God was removing distractions I would not have had the courage to walk away from on my own. He was closing doors I kept trying to knock on out of familiarity, not calling, and it felt uncomfortable, even lonely. But that loneliness wasn't abandonment, it was focus. Chosen one. You cannot step into a wealth phase while still being emotionally tied to survival thinking. Heaven had to detox your spirit from rushing, from proving, from chasing validation. That's why some blessings didn't arrive when you expected them. Not because God was withholding, but because He was protecting. There is a difference between what you want quickly and what you are ready to steward wisely. And God is far more committed to your longevity than your impatience. You see, anointed one, wealth in the kingdom is not just money. It is responsibility. It is reach. It is influence. It is the ability to shape outcomes beyond your own life. That kind of assignment requires inner alignment. This is why you were slowed down. This is why you were hidden. This is why things felt quiet, while others seemed to accelerate. Heaven was stabilizing you so the blessing wouldn't crush you when it arrived. Think about how construction works. The higher the building, the deeper the foundation. No one celebrates the digging phase. It's messy, it's hidden, it looks like nothing is happening, but chosen one, everything was happening underground. God was reinforcing your inner life, your motives, your discipline, your discernment. He was teaching you how to hear him without the noise of applause. That is a rare training. Most people never receive it. Anointed One. I need you to hear this clearly. You were not delayed. You were being synchronized. Heaven was aligning, timing people, resources and opportunities so that when the door opens, it opens cleanly. No confusion, no scrambling, no regret. What is coming will feel steady, not frantic, peaceful, not chaotic, and that is how you will know it is God. There were moments you wanted to force outcomes, to make a call, to take an offer, to say yes, just to feel movement again. But something in your spirit hesitated. That hesitation was wisdom being formed in you. That pause saved you from shortcuts that would have cost you later. God was teaching you how to wait without losing faith, how to rest without quitting, how to trust without seeing. That is not punishment. That is promotion training. Chosen One. The wealth phase you are approaching is not built on hustle alone. It is built on alignment. When alignment happens, provision follows naturally. Doors open without strain. Connections feel clean. Opportunities come with clarity instead of pressure. And you are closer to that shift than you realize. The discomfort you feel now is not because you are off track. It is because you are between levels. Anointed One. I sense that some of you listening have been carrying quiet fear. Fear that time has passed. Fear that you waited too long. Fear that others are ahead and you somehow missed your moment. But heaven does not operate on human timelines. Scripture reminds us that God makes all things beautiful in their appointed time. And appointed time is not about age or comparison. It is about readiness meeting opportunity. What's been happening lately is subtle but powerful. Your tolerance for chaos has dropped. Your desire for shallow success has faded. You are less impressed by noise and more drawn to substance. That is not boredom, that is maturity. And maturity attracts a different level of blessing. God is preparing to trust you with more because you are no longer driven by the need to prove yourself. Chosen One. I want you to sit with this truth. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not being punished. You are being positioned with intention, with precision, and with care. And the shift into this wealth phase will not announce itself with chaos. It will unfold with confirmation, peace, and alignment that feels almost quiet, but deeply powerful. Stay here. Let this settle in your spirit. Because once you truly understand what this season was for you, we'll stop fighting it and start thanking God for it. Chosen One. There is a reason this season felt heavier than the ones before it. Not harder in the obvious ways, but heavier in the soul. You weren't just dealing with external resistance, you were being confronted internally. Old fears surfaced. Old questions came back. Old identities tried to speak again. That wasn't regression. That was extraction. Heaven was pulling out what could not go with you into the wealth phase now opening. Anointed One. Many people think punishment looks like loss, but positioning often looks like pressure. Pressure exposes cracks. Pressure reveals what is still fragile. Pressure shows you where healing is incomplete. And God in His mercy does not elevate a fractured foundation. So He allowed pressure not to break you, but to show you what needed strengthening before the weight of blessing arrived. I want to be very clear with you here. Some of what you interpreted as spiritual warfare was actually spiritual preparation. Some of what felt like resistance was heaven slowing your momentum on purpose. There were paths you could have taken that would have produced money quickly but cost you peace, integrity, or long-term authority. God closed those doors quietly, not to punish you, but to preserve you. Chosen one. I've lived through seasons where the opportunity looked perfect on paper. The numbers made sense. The timing seemed right. Other people said, "This is it." But something in my spirit felt unsettled. No fear, just a lack of peace. And walking away from those moments felt like self-sabotage at the time. Only later did I realize God was sparing me from carrying success that would have outpaced my maturity. Delay was mercy. Silence was protection. Anointed one. Wealth without clarity multiplies confusion. Money amplifies whatever is already inside you. If there is fear, it grows louder. If there is insecurity, it becomes more visible. If there is unresolved identity, it gets exposed. This is why God has been dealing with your inner world so intentionally. He was not focused on your bank account yet. He was focused on your nervous system, your discernment, your self-control, your ability to rest without guilt. Notice how your relationship with time has changed. You no longer rush the way you used to. You feel discomfort when things move too fast. You question urgency now. That is not hesitation, that is wisdom. God has been teaching you to recognize counterfeit acceleration. Not every fast door is a divine door. Not every opportunity that glitters carries alignment. Chosen one. Heaven-backed wealth does not arrive with anxiety attached. It does not demand you betray your values to keep it. It does not force you to perform endlessly to sustain it. It rests on you, not races you. And that is why God had to slow you down first. You were being trained to recognize peace as confirmation, not excitement as guidance. Anointed one. Some relationships had to fall away in this season. Not because those people were evil, but because they were assigned to an earlier version of you. There are connections that cannot survive elevation. Not out of jealousy always, but out of incompatibility. God does not carry people into new seasons who cannot breathe at higher altitudes. And losing those relationships hurt more than you expected because you are loyal by nature. But heaven was lightening your load. I remember realizing one day that I had been carrying emotional responsibility for people God never asked me to carry, their expectations, their opinions, their comfort. And as long as I carried them, my hands were too full to receive what God was offering. Some of you listening are experiencing the same thing. You weren't rejected, you were relieved. Chosen one. The wealth phase ahead of you requires clean hands and a clear heart. Not perfection, but honesty. Not performance, but alignment. God has been removing the need to explain yourself, defend yourself, or prove yourself. That is why silence surrounded you. Silence reveals where your confidence actually comes from. When applause disappears, only identity remains. Anointed one. If you're honest, this season forced you to confront who you are when nothing is happening outwardly, when progress feels invisible, when validation is scarce, and yet you stayed, you prayed, you kept your integrity, you didn't collapse into bitterness. That matters more than you know. Heaven measures readiness differently than the world does. There were days you felt like you were standing still while others passed you by. But Scripture reminds us that those who wait are not inactive, they are being renewed. Waiting is not wasting time, it is recalibration, it is alignment. It is God adjusting you internally so you can move externally without friction later. Chosen one. The wealth shift approaching your life will feel different than anything you've experienced before. Not because it will be louder, but because it will be cleaner. You won't have to convince people. You won't have to over-explain. You won't have to rush. Things will fall into place with a sense of inevitability, not effort. That is how you will know this is not self-made elevation. It is God-made alignment. I want to address the fear that some of you haven't said out loud. The fear that maybe you misunderstood God. That maybe you waited when you should have acted. That maybe you trusted too much. Anointed One God is not confused about you. He has not mismanaged your timeline. If He allowed you to wait, it was because what you were waiting for required a version of you that did not exist yet. And now that version of you is emerging. Quieter but stronger, slower but wiser, less reactive, more discerning. That version can handle what is coming without losing themselves. And that is the version God entrusts with increase. Chosen one, you are stepping into a season where provision will meet obedience naturally, where effort will no longer feel forced, where the right people recognize you without convincing, where ideas flow without strain, where rest and productivity coexist. This is not fantasy, this is alignment. But before that fully manifests, God needed you to stop seeing yourself as punished, because you cannot receive abundance while interpreting preparation as rejection. You cannot steward wealth while resenting the process that formed you. Understanding this season reframes everything. It turns wounds into wisdom. It turns delay into design. Let this truth settle deep. Heaven did not wound you to weaken you. Heaven shaped you to sustain what is coming. Chosen one. There comes a moment when heaven begins to rearrange not just your circumstances, but your perception. This is where many people misinterpret what God is doing. They think nothing is happening because nothing looks dramatic yet. But in the spirit, this is the most active phase of all. This is when alignment quietly locks into place. This is when timing, readiness, and assignment begin to converge. Anointed one. You may have noticed that lately your desires have shifted. Things that once motivated you no longer carry the same pull. You are less impressed by fast money, loud success, or shallow recognition. That is not boredom. That is discernment maturing. God does not bring you into a wealth phase while your appetite is still trained on survival rewards. He waits until your hunger changes. There was a time when you would have taken anything that looked like progress, any door, any offer, any movement, but now you pause, you listen, you sense. That pause is not fear, it is authority forming. Authority knows it does not need to rush. Authority understands that what is assigned will arrive on time. Chosen one. This is why heaven allowed you to experience uncertainty. Certainty too early creates arrogance. Uncertainty when surrendered creates humility. And humility is what stabilizes increase. Pride wants the platform. Humility can carry the responsibility. God does not elevate the loudest spirit. He elevates the grounded one. Let me speak from lived experience again. I remember a season when I finally had time but no clarity, space but no direction. It felt uncomfortable because I was used to measuring progress by activity, but in that stillness, something changed. I began to hear myself again, not the noise of expectation, not the pressure of timelines, just truth. And that truth recalibrated my decisions permanently. God was teaching me to move from identity, not urgency. Anointed one, some of you are learning that lesson right now. You are realizing how often you move to escape discomfort rather than obey direction. How often you said yes to avoid silence. God stripped those coping mechanisms gently, not harshly. And now you can feel the difference between movement that drains you and movement that flows through you. This is critical for the wealth phase, because wealth amplifies direction. If you are misaligned, increase magnifies the misalignment, but when you are aligned, increase multiplies impact. God is not interested in blessing you temporarily. He is interested in establishing you sustainably. Chosen one. Heaven has been teaching you to sit with yourself without distraction, to face your thoughts without running, to feel emotions without numbing them. That inner work is invisible to others, but it is priceless. Most people never develop that capacity, and it is why wealth destroys them instead of serving them. You may have wondered why God seemed more concerned with your inner healing than your outer progress. Why He addressed your patience, your boundaries, your rest, your self-worth. It's because money does not heal insecurity, it exposes it, and God loves you too much to expose you prematurely. Anointed one, you are entering a phase where opportunities will begin to recognize you. You will not need to chase them aggressively. You will notice conversations shifting, doors opening through alignment rather than force. People will begin to trust you instinctively. That trust was forged in the quiet seasons when no one was watching. But let me also speak a sober truth. As alignment increases, temptation becomes more refined, not louder, but subtler. The enemy does not need to distract you with obvious chaos anymore. He will attempt to distract you with almost right opportunities, close enough paths, partial truths, offers that appeal to ego rather than assignment. This is why your discernment had to be sharpened first. Chosen one, peace is your compass now, not adrenaline, not urgency, not pressure. Peace does not mean the absence of challenge. It means the presence of alignment. When something is from God, even when it stretches you, your spirit settles. When something is not from God, even if it excites you, your spirit tightens. I have learned to trust that tightening, the pause, the subtle resistance. It has saved me from paths that would have looked successful externally, but would have cost me internally. Some of the biggest mistakes people make are not sinful decisions, but misaligned ones. Anointed one, you are no longer being trained to survive. You are being trained to steward. Stewardship requires restraint. It requires timing. It requires the ability to say no without fear of lack. That ability is growing in you right now. There is another shift happening that you may not have named yet. You are becoming comfortable being misunderstood. Earlier in your journey, misunderstanding felt unbearable. You wanted to explain, to clarify, to be seen accurately. But now you let things go. You don't chase perception anymore. That is not indifference. That is maturity. When God prepares someone for increase, He removes the need to be validated by people who cannot contribute to the assignment. Because wealth attracts opinions. Influence attracts projections. And if your identity is still tied to being understood, you will be easily manipulated. Chosen one. Heaven has been anchoring your identity deeper than public opinion, deeper than outcomes, deeper than applause. That anchoring will allow you to move through the next season without losing yourself. You are also learning to rest without guilt. That is a major indicator of readiness. Rest does not mean inactivity. It means trust. It means knowing the world will not collapse if you pause. It means understanding that your worth is not tied to constant output. That mindset is essential for sustainable abundance. Anointed one, the wealth phase ahead will not be chaotic. It will not feel like scrambling. It will feel like clarity meeting provision, like preparation meeting opportunity, like obedience meeting supply. This is how God moves when alignment is complete. And let me say this gently but firmly. You cannot enter this phase while secretly believing you are being punished. That belief poisons gratitude. It creates resentment toward the process, and resentment blocks reception. God needed you to release that narrative before opening the next door. Chosen one, you were never being punished. You were being refined, steadied, and synchronized. And now, as alignment locks into place, you will begin to see evidence not all at once, but consistently. Small confirmations, right conversations, timely provision, clear direction. Do not rush this unveiling. Let it unfold. You are no longer behind. You are precisely where heaven intended you to be. Chosen one, as this alignment settles deeper, something else begins to happen that few people are prepared for. Your internal compass becomes louder than external advice. You still listen, you still learn, but you no longer outsource discernment. You no longer need consensus to feel confident. That shift is subtle, but it is powerful. It means your authority is becoming internal, not borrowed. Anointed one. There was a time when you needed reassurance, when you needed someone to say, yes, you're doing the right thing. But now you can sit with uncertainty without panicking. You can hold unanswered questions without forcing conclusions. That ability did not come naturally. It was formed through pressure, through waiting, through seasons where God did not explain himself, but asked you to trust him anyway. This is critical for the wealth phase because money will amplify your decision-making speed. When resources increase, choices multiply. If you still require constant validation, you will hesitate or be swayed. God had to teach you how to stand alone internally before surrounding you with abundance externally. Chosen. One another quiet shift is happening. You are becoming more selective with your energy, not out of selfishness, but stewardship. You no longer give your attention to everything that demands it. You notice how certain conversations drain you, how certain environments agitate you, how certain goals excite you briefly but leave you restless afterward. That awareness is not coincidence, it is alignment. Heaven-backed wealth does not flow into a scattered vessel. It flows into a focused one. This is why God allowed your world to simplify. Fewer voices, fewer options, fewer distractions. It felt like loss, but it was clarity. It felt like shrinking, but it was refinement. Anointed one. I want to speak to the fatigue you felt along the way. Not physical tiredness, but soul fatigue. The exhaustion that comes from carrying uncertainty for too long. The weariness of being strong quietly. God saw that, and he did not ignore it. He allowed rest to enter your life in ways you may not have recognized at first. A slowed pace, a cancelled plan, a season where ambition softened. That rest was not regression, it was recalibration. You were learning how to exist without being driven by urgency. That lesson alone is worth more than many blessings, because urgency creates scarcity, thinking even in abundance. Calm creates stewardship. Chosen one. Some of you have felt conflicted about your desire for wealth. You love God, yet you want provision. You want impact, yet you fear corruption. You want abundance, yet you fear losing yourself. That inner tension is not hypocrisy, it is discernment awakening. God welcomes that tension because it keeps your heart clean. I remember wrestling with those same questions, wondering if wanting more meant I was ungrateful, wondering if rest meant laziness, wondering if boundaries meant selfishness. God gently showed me that none of those things are sinful when they are aligned. Wanting provision is not greed when your heart is anchored. Rest is not laziness when your obedience is intact. Boundaries are not selfish when they protect assignment. Anointed one. This is why God spent so much time reshaping your inner dialogue, teaching you how to speak to yourself with truth instead of accusation. You no longer spiral the way you used to. You interrupt negative narratives sooner. You question fear instead of obeying it. That is not self-help. That is spiritual maturity. As the wealth phase approaches, your inner voice becomes increasingly important. The world will speak loudly when resources increase. Opinions will surface. Expectations will rise. Projections will attach themselves to you. Without a strong internal anchor, you would be pulled in multiple directions. God was preventing that. Chosen one, notice how your definition of success has changed. It is no longer just numbers or milestones. It includes peace. It includes alignment. It includes sustainability. You are no longer impressed by what looks good, but costs too much internally. That shift is evidence that your values have been recalibrated for stewardship. There is also a humility forming in you that is different from insecurity. You know your capacity, but you don't advertise it. You know your worth, but you don't demand recognition. That quiet confidence is dangerous in the best way. It cannot be manipulated easily. It does not panic under pressure. It does not inflate under praise. Anointed one, heaven trusts that kind of spirit. Because when influence arrives, it will not corrupt you. When money arrives, it will not control you. When doors open, you will not abandon wisdom for speed. You may have noticed that prayer has changed for you too. It is less desperate, less transactional, less about asking God to fix things, more about alignment, more about listening, more about surrender. That shift matters. God does not release major provision into a spirit that is still negotiating trust. Chosen one alignment does not mean everything becomes easy. It means everything becomes intentional. Challenges still arise, but they no longer feel chaotic. They feel purposeful. You approach them with curiosity instead of panic. That posture is essential for the next phase. Let me speak honestly here. Some of you are closer to visible breakthrough than you realize, not because of what you did externally, but because of what settled internally. The moment your spirit stopped fighting the process, things began to move quietly behind the scenes. Heaven responds to surrender faster than it responds to striving. Anointed one. You are entering a season where provision will feel like confirmation, not compensation. It will not arrive to prove something. It will arrive to support something already aligned. That distinction changes how you receive it. But understand this alignment must be maintained. Not anxiously, but attentively. You are learning how to notice subtle shifts, to course correct gently instead of dramatically, to respond instead of react. That responsiveness is wisdom. Chosen one, do not underestimate how far you have come internally. The person you are now would have overwhelmed the version of you from years ago. That growth was not accidental, it was necessary. As this phase continues to unfold, remember this: you are not stepping into abundance to escape who you are. You are stepping into abundance because you finally know who you are, and that identity will keep you grounded no matter how much increases around you. Stay present, stay attentive, stay surrendered. Heaven is not rushing you, it is establishing you. Chosen one. There is a sacred shift that happens when God begins to trust you with more. It is not announced with fireworks. It is felt internally as a deep settling, a quiet knowing, a sense that you no longer need to chase what is meant for you. This is where many people misunderstand divine increase. They think blessing arrives when effort peaks, but heaven often releases when striving ends. Anointed one, you are learning how to receive without grabbing. That alone tells me how far you have come. Earlier in your journey, receiving felt unsafe. You felt the need to control outcomes, to over-prepare, to anticipate loss before it happened. That mindset was built in survival seasons. But survival thinking cannot steward abundance. God had to gently rewire that. You may have noticed that lately when things go well, you don't immediately brace for collapse. You enjoy the moment without suspicion. When things slow down, you don't assume disaster. You remain steady. That steadiness is not emotional numbness. It is trust forming roots. Chosen one. Trust is the currency of the wealth phase. Not blind optimism, but grounded trust. The kind that understands that provision flows through obedience, not anxiety. The kind that knows God is not impressed by panic, but he responds to surrender. I want to speak into the area of control because many of you struggled here quietly. You didn't call it control. You called it responsibility, wisdom, preparedness. But underneath it there was fear. Fear of losing ground, fear of being disappointed again, fear of being overlooked. God has been loosening your grip, not to make you careless, but to make you free. Anointed one control exhausts the soul. Trust restores it, and restoration is necessary before multiplication. God does not multiply drained vessels. He fills rested ones. This is why rest became such a theme in your life. Not laziness, not withdrawal, holy rest. The kind that resets perspective. The kind that teaches your nervous system that peace is safe. Many people think rest comes after success. But in the kingdom, rest comes before sustainable success. Chosen one wealth that arrives without rest will be spent repairing what exhaustion destroyed. God wanted to spare you that cycle, so he taught you to slow down while nothing appeared urgent. That training is now becoming protection. You are also becoming more honest with yourself. You no longer pretend you want things you don't. You no longer chase goals that impress others but leave you empty. You no longer confuse busyness with purpose. That honesty is rare, and it is essential. Anointed one, heaven cannot partner deeply with a divided heart. When your desires are scattered, provision becomes unstable. But when your desires are aligned, provision flows cleanly. That alignment did not happen overnight. It happened through disappointments, delays, and deep internal conversations you had with God when no one else was around. I remember those conversations myself, asking God why certain things weren't moving, why I felt ready but nothing was happening. And what he showed me was simple but confronting. I was ready to receive, but not yet ready to sustain. There is a difference. Receiving is momentary, sustaining is lifelong. Chosen one. Sustaining requires character boundaries, discipline, and humility. These are not glamorous qualities, but they are powerful. God has been cultivating them in you quietly. That cultivation is why what's coming will last. There is also a spiritual sobriety forming in you. You are less dramatic in prayer, less reactive in faith, more anchored. You don't swing between extremes the way you used to. That balance is maturity. It allows you to navigate abundance without losing spiritual clarity. Anointed one, you are learning to celebrate without worshipping the blessing, to appreciate provision without idolizing it, to enjoy progress without defining yourself by it. That distinction is everything. Many people lose themselves when increase comes because they never learned that. You have also become more comfortable saying no, not out of fear, but clarity. You don't explain every decision. You don't justify every boundary. That confidence did not come from arrogance. It came from alignment. When you know what you're called to, distraction loses its appeal. Chosen one this season taught you that not every opportunity is an assignment. Not every open door is yours. And saying no to the wrong things created space for the right things to find you. That is wisdom you will carry for life. As the wealth phase continues to draw near, you may notice an increase in confirmation. Not loud signs, but quiet consistencies. Patterns aligning, conversations repeating, ideas resurfacing with clarity instead of confusion. Pay attention to those. God often confirms direction through repetition, not shock. Anointed one, let me say this clearly. You do not need to fear this next phase. You are not unprepared. You are not late. You are not fragile. The process you endured was sufficient. The lessons you learned were necessary. The healing you allowed was timely. You may still feel moments of doubt. That is human. But doubt no longer controls your direction. It passes through without taking residence. That alone tells me you are ready for more. Chosen one, wealth is not coming to replace God in your life. It is coming to resource what God already planted. It will amplify your reach, not redefine your identity. It will support your assignment, not distract from it. That is why it can be trusted to you now. Do not rush the unveiling. Do not compare timelines. Do not measure yourself against others. What God is doing in you is specific, tailored, intentional. Comparison would only distort perception. Stay grounded, stay grateful, stay attentive. You are no longer striving to become someone. You are stepping into what was already formed. Heaven has not forgotten you. Heaven has been preparing you carefully. And that careful preparation is the reason what's coming will not overwhelm you, consume you, or compromise you. Remain open, remain surrendered, remain steady. The same God who shaped you will sustain you as increase unfolds around you. Chosen one, there is a sacred responsibility that comes with the season you are entering, and it is not pressure, it is clarity. When heaven entrusts increase, it also entrusts awareness. You begin to see more, sense more, and carry more, not to burden you but to guide you. This is where many misunderstand the wealth phase. They think it is about comfort. In truth, it is about capacity. Anointed one, capacity is not how much you can hold. It is how well you can steward what you hold without losing yourself. God has been expanding your capacity quietly, teaching you how to remain centered when things accelerate, teaching you how to stay soft without becoming weak, teaching you how to stay disciplined without becoming rigid. That balance is rare, and it is powerful. You may have noticed that when challenges arise now, you don't react the same way. You respond, you assess, you pray differently. You move with intention instead of impulse. That shift is evidence that you are no longer operating from fear. You are operating from alignment. Fear demands immediate relief. Alignment invites patient obedience. Chosen one, let me speak to the fear that sometimes whispers, "What if I lose this?" That whisper is not prophecy. It is memory. It is the echo of seasons where loss felt sudden and painful. God understands that echo. He is not offended by it. That is why He trained you in stability before increase. He wanted your spirit to know that loss is no longer your default narrative. Anointed one, the wealth phase ahead will require you to remain rooted. Rooted in purpose. Rooted in humility. Rooted in gratitude. Gratitude is not just politeness, it is protection. It keeps your heart aligned when resources grow. It keeps your perspective clear when options multiply. It keeps your spirit grounded when influence expands. I want to speak to influence for a moment. As provision increases, influence often follows. People watch you more closely. They listen differently. They project expectations. God has been preparing you for that weight, teaching you how to speak without arrogance, how to lead without domination, how to serve without self-erasure. That leadership posture was formed in obscurity. Chosen one, you were never meant to chase influence. Influence is drawn to authenticity. The version of you that emerged through waiting, surrender, and internal work is the version people trust. Not because you are perfect, but because you are real. Heaven values that. You may also notice that your compassion has deepened. Not naive compassion, but discerning compassion. You care without carrying. You support without rescuing. You love without overextending. That boundary-centered compassion is essential. Wealth will bring requests, needs, stories. God trained you to respond wisely, not emotionally. Anointed One discernment will continue to be your greatest asset. Not suspicion, but clarity. You will know when to give, when to invest, when to walk away, when to wait. That discernment was sharpened through seasons where you had to choose without certainty, where you had to trust God without confirmation. Those decisions built muscle memory in your spirit. Chosen one, let me say something plainly. You do not owe anyone access to your next season, not explanations, not apologies, not permission. God is leading you, and obedience sometimes looks quiet to others. That is okay. Heaven sees obedience even when people misunderstand it. As alignment continues, you may feel a pull toward simplicity, toward order, toward intentional living. That is not withdrawal from ambition. It is refinement of ambition. You are no longer interested in everything. You are interested in what matters. That focus will multiply your impact. Anointed One, there will be moments in this season when you are tempted to revisit old narratives, to question whether you deserve this, to replay past mistakes, to remember old versions of yourself. When that happens, remind your spirit that growth is not erased by memory. The past no longer has authority over your present alignment. You are not being elevated because you are flawless. You are being elevated because you are teachable, because you listened when God corrected you, because you paused when God said wait, because you released when God said let go. Those responses matter more than perfection ever could. Chosen one, wealth that comes from heaven does not isolate you from God. It deepens dependence. It reveals new layers of trust. It invites ongoing surrender. This is not a finish line. It is a new stewardship. I want to address one final fear, the fear of responsibility, the fear that more will require more than you can give. God never gives without supplying grace. He never expands assignment without expanding support. What He asks of you, He will empower you to carry. Anointed One, you are not stepping into this alone. You never have been. The same God who sustained you in hidden seasons will sustain you in visible ones. The same God who guided you through confusion will guide you through clarity. The same God who shaped you in silence will speak through you when needed. As this phase unfolds, remember to return to stillness, not to escape, but to recalibrate. Stillness keeps you aligned. It keeps your hearing sharp. It keeps your heart soft. Do not abandon the practices that formed you just because the environment changes. Chosen one, what is coming is not fragile. It is not temporary. It is not built on hype. It is rooted in obedience, alignment, and preparation. That foundation will hold. You are not being rushed. You are not being tested again. You are being trusted. Trusted to steward. Trusted to lead. Trusted to receive without losing reverence. Remain attentive. Remain grateful. Remain surrendered. The wealth phase is not about becoming someone else. It is about allowing what God has already formed in you to be resourced fully. Heaven's positioning is complete. Walk forward with confidence, not in yourself alone, but in the God who prepared you for this moment with care, precision, and love. Chosen one, receive this moment with reverence. What has been spoken over you is not imagination, and it is not encouragement alone, it is confirmation. Heaven has already begun the transfer. The alignment is in motion. The positioning is complete. You are standing in your Kairos moment, the exact window God appointed long before you were aware of it. Anointed One, may peace seal your spirit where uncertainty once lived. May clarity rise where confusion tried to linger. May every lesson from the hidden seasons now become strength for the visible ones. You are not stepping forward empty-handed. You are moving with wisdom, authority, and heaven-backed provision. I declare that doors open cleanly before you, that resources meet obedience without strain, that favor surrounds you without compromise. What God is releasing will not overwhelm you, it will rest on you. What is coming will not rush you, it will steady you. Remain faithful, stay aligned, guard your spirit. Walk gently but confidently into what has been prepared. Let gratitude go before you, and discernment walk beside you. And if this word has resonated quietly, affirm it by subscribing, sharing, or leaving a simple declaration in the comments, not for noise, but for alignment. Chosen One, go forward in peace. Heaven is with you. The transfer is underway.